Prepare to shelter in place. Hey everybody, I'm Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. We've seen in the past lockdown orders and all this stuff like that. I'm not necessarily going down that path because we all know that could happen, and especially if things start going really south with current events and what just recently happened and unrest and stuff like that. Where I'd like to go with this though is the positive aspect. I hate the negative aspect of things. Yes, we have to recognize it. We have to see and know what issues there are out there. But I like concentrating on the solutions to those problems instead of being overwhelmed with problems and issues. What's going on here? What's going on there? You know, all this stuff. We know that there's a lot going on. We know that we have a lot of issues. We know that it's going to take a lot to fix everything, if that's even possible. Preparing to shelter in place. Wintertime, snowstorms, etc. You may be in a situation where you have to stay home. You may be in a situation where you want to stay home because of unrest or other things going on. Plus, you know that, from 19, you don't think that there's probably another one of those kind of things out there that they could, say here is coming in, especially before the change of administration. I don't know. I'm just throwing some possibilities out there. But like I said, let's not talk about the negatives. Let's talk about the positives. Let's talk about what we can do to be proactive and the things that we can do to set ourselves up properly for being able to totally stay home, bug in. And this is a situation where I think sheltering in place is different than bugging in, because I differentiate them between or along the lines of sheltering in place is kind of like society's basically just normal. It's not some big SHTF event. We haven't devolved into without rule of law or anything like that. Still have rule of laws. Things are basically normal, but we want to stay home or we have to stay home or whatever it is. So we are still along the lines of normalcy versus bugging in is the non-normalcy. That is without rule of law, possibly, or whatever the situation may be. So that's how I kind of separate the two of them. So for shelter in place, we know as preppers, what am I going to say? Food, water, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm not even going to talk about that stuff. That stuff you should have squared away. That's a no-brainer. But really quick, how much food? At least 2 weeks. Bare minimum. I'd say more like a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 10 years, you get the picture. The more the better. And water, same thing. That's where a lot of people are limited. Say you get in a situation where it's in the middle of winter, snowstorm, you can't go out anywhere to get water. Then, say your pipes burst. Say the repairman can't get there because of the road conditions and stuff like that. So what are you going to do without water? At least for like, say, a week. Because I'm talking about in times of normalcy, like I said. So that the fact is that they will be repaired. Those services will be brought back. At least a week, I would say, of water. Because water is heavy, water is more difficult to store. But, like I said, not really going there. The little things, I think that's where people are going to get hung up. And that can potentially negatively affect your lifestyle. So what kinds of little things? All the little things we use on a daily basis. I talked a long time ago in a video about how to prepare properly and how I took a notebook, I carried it around with me for like a week, 2 weeks, a month. And what I did was start off with like 3 days. What I did, everything I touched that wasn't food or water related, I wrote down in the notebook. Did I use a pen for this? Did I use scissors for this? Did I use my pocket knife for this? Did I use toilet paper? Did I use a towel, dish liquid, laundry tabs, dryer sheets, all these kind of things. Everything, shampoo, all these things. Everything I touched in a day. And it was difficult because, and I'm sure I missed some, but I recommend you do that also, because where am I going with that? Those are the items that you use every day in the times of normalcy, and that's what we're talking about. Write down all those items so that you make sure that you have plenty of those on hand. What about batteries for flashlights if you lose power, or candles? Also, the bigger things like an alternate heating method for your house if you lose power in the middle of winter. Or you can go a different route, not have power or not have an alternate heating method, but have an alternate warming method. And I was thinking along the lines of like wool blankets and quilts and stuff like that, and that's great. But because this popped in my mind, check out the link in the description below for Fortress Clothing. Their base layers and jackets and stuff like that are amazing. It's like portable heat. You don't have to use little hand warmers and stuff like that you have to keep on buying. Firewood you have to keep on buying. Consumables, fuel sources for heaters, you have to keep buying. Electricity, you have to keep paying for. This is sustainable heat, keeping your body warm with its own body heat wherever you are, inside your house, outside your house. Fortress Clothing, amazing clothes. I haven't talked about them in a long time, but it's getting to that time of year again. So check it out. Links in the description below. Coupon code is in the description below. You know, if you want to, I'm just saying it's an option. I'm not a salesman, not here to shove stuff down your throat. We have a wood stove, so, you know, behind here is a whole bunch of firewood, and then back in the shed is a whole bunch more firewood, and other places around the property are stacks of firewood. But everybody doesn't have a wood stove. Buddy heaters, alternate heating sources like that, but make sure that you can use them indoors. That's important. From the overlanding world, I love a diesel heater. Diesel heaters are awesome. Are they going to heat your house? No, they won't. But I'll tell you what they will do. They will heat a room. So what do? You select a room that is small, but big enough for all your family to pretty much congregate in, sleep in, do all that kind of stuff. Then you seal it off as much as possible, not airtight or anything like that, but, you know, hang up some wool blankets on the walls, stuff like that, lay out your bedding, get all set, then open the window, put the diesel heater vent through, and then tape off, insulate off, whatever, the rest of the window opening, whether it's sideways, the window opens up, whatever it is. Tape that off, you know, seal that off so that the diesel heater is coming in. And it'll heat a rooftop tent really well. So I'm sure it'll do a fantastic job on heating a small room. So maybe in the future I need to do a video. I've been planning on a video about the diesel heater that I have. A buddy of mine gave it to me. I repackaged it into a Pelican case. It is awesome. I think I mentioned it really quickly in one of my more recent videos. But a diesel heater is an awesome option. Like I said, not going to heat your whole house, but it'll heat a room. And that will allow you to survive. So make a list of all those little items you use on a daily basis, a weekly basis, whatever it may be. And make sure that you have plenty of those. Plenty of those kind of things for like a month. A lot of them you don't necessarily need to buy all the time. Like dish liquid. Have an extra thing of dish liquid. That's a no-brainer. All this is simple stuff, but it'll allow you to shelter in place for, you know, a little while at least, and not have to go anywhere. I mean, anywhere. Have everything you need on hand. So anyway, I hope you guys like the video. I hope that you guys take proactive action on this, because it is winter and we lose power and stuff like that. I want you guys to live. I want you guys to thrive, not just survive. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.